Have you ever questioned why they're falling apart now that you're gone? Not everyone can handle the truth. Your absence has them spiraling, and they'll never admit it. But for you, this moment of realization is just the beginning. This is the moment where everything they deny becomes undeniable. You're seated at the table, pen poised to sign, knowing this is more than just a signature. It's the culmination of every barrier you shattered, every whispered doubt you silenced. They never saw this coming, blinded by their own arrogance, thinking you'd fall without their approval. But now, as you take control, they're left spiraling, disoriented by the absence of your energy. Your absence has been their undoing, and the truth is burning through them like wildfire. They needed you far more than you ever needed them. The balance has shifted, and they can't handle the reality you've created. They never expected your absence to be the silence that deafens them. The same people who once treated you as disposable now feel the weight of your departure, as though a vital piece of their existence has been ripped away. They didn't just lose you. They lost the energy you carried, the light you brought, the strength you exuded. Now, they're left with a gaping void, haunted by the realization that they misjudged you completely. Their regret isn't just an emotional afterthought. It's a storm that rages within them, tearing apart the very foundation of their lives. Their regret festers, raw and relentless, like a wildfire consuming everything they touch. The former friend who belittled your every dream now wakes up in the middle of the night, heart racing, as they scroll through endless social media feeds, watching your rise. The lover who walked away, convinced you'd never amount to more, now sits alone, staring at an empty space where your presence used to be, realizing they will never find someone who matches your spirit. Their world shrinks as yours expands, and no matter how much they try to ignore it, your name echoes in rooms you no longer enter. The colleague who undermined your work is now stuck, career stalled, unable to escape the shadow of your accomplishments. Every time they hear your name, it's a dagger to their ego, a reminder of how their own sabotage only led to their downfall. They see your success written across headlines, your influence growing, and it gnaws at them like a wound that refuses to close. Your absence is no longer just felt, it's feared, as it reveals the truth. They never deserved you, and now they're drowning in the consequences of their own actions. They never saw this coming. You didn't just leave, you transcended the very space they tried to confine you to. You have evolved far beyond the grasp of their control, stepping boldly into a future that no longer includes them. Your transformation wasn't gradual, it was monumental, a clear break from the past that they now cling to. You have mastered the art of detachment, unburdened by the emotional chains they once tried to wrap around you. You didn't just walk away, you turned your back on the chaos and found peace in the distance. Every step you take forward is a testament to your growth, while they remain frozen in the wreckage of their own making. They thought they had time to keep you hanging on, doubting your worth. But the truth is, you've left them in the dust. The ex-lover who once believed they could pull your strings now sits in a room filled with memories that no longer resonate with who you've become. They scroll through old photos, hoping to catch a glimpse of the person they once knew, but they're only met with a stranger, a version of you they can no longer touch. The distance is more than just physical, it's spiritual. You have ascended to a plane they can't access, leaving them behind, clutching at ghosts. Now they watch from the shadows, witnessing your growth as you surround yourself with people who reflect the light they tried to dim. Your success isn't just visible, it's glaring, and it burns them to the core. Each post, each new achievement you share is a silent reminder that you've moved on while they're stuck, paralyzed by their own regret. They destroyed the connection with their own hands, and now they're left watching you flourish, haunted by what they've lost forever. The reality of their actions has hit them like a tidal wave. Your absence, once something they assumed would be temporary, has become a permanent void. They didn't just lose a person, they lost the light that illuminated their world. You withdrew your energy, and with it, the lifeline they relied on to feel important, to feel powerful. Now they are left to face the chilling emptiness that you once filled, suffocated by the darkness of their own making. They thought you would linger, that your heart would yearn for the connection they casually discarded, but instead you've turned inward, recognizing your own value. You've poured love into yourself, and it has nourished you in ways they never could. The friend who always counted on your forgiveness, who thought you'd always return, now finds themselves in a cold, hollow space that was once warmed by your presence. The gatherings they used to orchestrate with you at the center have lost their luster. The air around them feels sterile, devoid of the vibrancy your spirit brought. They laugh, but it echoes hollow, a desperate attempt to fill the void. In every quiet moment, they are haunted by the realization that their manipulation, their casual neglect, has cost them someone irreplaceable. Now they sit in the same room surrounded by people, but the space feels colder, smaller without you. Your laughter, your warmth, your energy, gone. What they didn't value is now painfully absent, and every second that passes is a reminder of the consequence of their actions. You were the fire that fueled the connection, and without you, the flame has died, leaving them in a bleak, self-inflicted winter. Their realization comes too late, as they are forced to sit in the emptiness of their choices, unable to undo what they've destroyed. The truth they try so desperately to hide is unraveling, eating away at them in ways they never anticipated. Behind their forced smiles and indifferent attitudes lies a reality they can't escape. You were the very thing they secretly admired, the force they couldn't control. They thought they could make you question your own worth, but now they're the ones drowning in their own insecurities, consumed by regret and self-inflicted doubt. They admired your strength, your resilience, but their pride kept them from ever acknowledging it. Now that same pride shackles them to their regret, unable to face the consequences of their actions. That toxic family member who constantly belittled your efforts and minimized your successes now sits in the same suffocating rut they've always been in. They see your life soaring, filled with achievements they can only dream of, and it burns them from the inside out. The bitterness they carry weighs them down like a stone, dragging them deeper into a pit of envy and regret. During family gatherings, they may wear a mask of composure, smiling politely as if nothing is wrong, but behind closed doors the truth is raw. They curse themselves for every insult, every snide remark, every attempt to make you feel small. The reality of the situation is this: your success, your peace, has become a mirror reflecting their failures back at them. The life you're living, free from their toxicity, is a reminder of the life they can never touch. They are left to stew in the consequences of their own choices, powerless as they watch you rise higher, untethered from the weight they tried to place on your shoulders. And while they may never admit it to your face, they know deep down that they destroyed the best relationship they could have had with you. Now all they have is their regret, festering in silence. This wasn't random. God's hand was at work, pulling you from the clutches of those who only sought to drain your spirit. It's no coincidence that your heart no longer aches for their approval, that the once strong pull to be part of their circle has evaporated. God, in his divine clarity, has peeled back the layers of deception, showing you the truth hidden behind their masks. Every disappointment, every betrayal was his way of shielding you, guiding you toward a higher path, away from those who would have led you astray. You didn't just walk away. You were lifted out, carried by a power greater than their influence could ever be. The group of so-called friends you once held close now find themselves adrift, scattered like leaves in the wind. Without you, the unspoken force that held them together, they've lost their center. Their laughter feels hollow, their gatherings lifeless. They see you stepping into your divine purpose, your path illuminated with a light they never understood, and it gnaws at them. They can't escape the feeling that something, everything, went wrong when you left. Behind their bravado, they're lost, confused, unable to replicate the connection they once had when you were in their midst. But here's the truth. They never understood that your presence was a gift, one granted to you by God himself. And now as you walk in alignment with that higher calling, their absence in your life is no longer a loss. It's a divine blessing. God removed you from their orbit, leaving them to face the consequences of their own actions while you rise, untouched by their chaos. They may never fully understand it, but God's intervention has sealed your path, clearing the way for you to live in the fullness of your purpose, free from the weight of those who never deserved you. They cling to their toxicity like a lifeline, too afraid to confront the truth of their own emptiness. Lies and manipulation are their comfort zone, and they wrap themselves in it daily, hoping it will protect them from facing their own inadequacies. Growth is terrifying to them. It requires honesty, reflection, and most importantly, effort. But you've left that behind. You've shed the layers of illusion they tried to trap you in, and now that you see the reality for what it is, there's no going back. Their comfort in stagnation disgusts you, and your elevation away from them is a testament to the strength they'll never understand. That former friend who thrived on gossip and chaos still operates the only way they know how, spinning lies, sowing discord, trying to control the narrative. But without you, their power has crumbled. You were the focus of their drama, the one they could always manipulate to feed their own insecurities. Now, they're left speaking into an echo chamber, their deceit unraveling, without the one person who could ever see through it. Their influence has diminished. The lies they once spread about you fall flat, as there's no one left to give them attention. They stumble in their own tangled web, no longer able to weave new stories or keep up with the chaos they've created. They can't comprehend how you've moved on, how you've grown past their petty games, while they remain stuck, prisoners of their own making. Their toxicity is a cage, and they've locked themselves in it, all while watching you walk free. You've outgrown their lies, their small-mindedness, and now all they have left is the emptiness of their own deceit, with no one left to deceive. You've reached the point of no return. This is your done season, and there's no looking back. You've spent enough time being the one who patches up broken pieces, apologizes when you weren't at fault, and tries to fix what others refuse to value. But not anymore. The weight of their expectations has been lifted off your shoulders, and now they're left to grapple with the emptiness you've left behind. They relied on your forgiveness, your willingness to keep the peace, and now that you've pulled away for good, that finality is a storm they weren't prepared for. It's shaking them in ways they can't express, because they always believed you'd be there to fix things again. That sibling who thrived on arguments, knowing you'd always be the one to offer the olive branch, now sits in a suffocating silence. The absence of your voice, your warmth, has left a void they never anticipated. They thought you'd come back, as you always did, but this time your silence is louder than any apology you could have offered. They're left with nothing but echoes of past arguments, where they took your efforts for granted. Now, they understand too late that you're not returning to the role they forced you into. No matter how hard they try to fill the space you once occupied, they find themselves lost in their own regret. They realize that this time the door is closed, locked, and sealed. Your energy, your presence, they were the glue that held it all together, and now without you, their world is slowly unraveling. The finality of your decision crushes them because they know there's no fixing this. You've moved on, and they're left to face the emptiness of their own making. The moment someone crosses paths with a chosen one like you, their world shifts, whether they recognize it or not. You were the rarest of energies, a force so unique that it rewrote the dynamics of every interaction, every relationship. Now that you've removed yourself from their lives, they feel the absence of something they didn't even realize they depended on. You were the light they didn't appreciate, the voice of wisdom they didn't listen to, and now the haunting truth is clear. They will never encounter anyone like you again. This is what keeps them awake at night, the irreplaceable nature of your presence, the gravity of their loss weighing heavier with each passing day. That ex-friend who ridiculed your spiritual depth, who mocked the wisdom you tried to share, now stumbles in confusion, seeking solace in the very practices they once dismissed. They scoffed at your beliefs, turned a blind eye to your insight, thinking they didn't need your perspective. But now, as life throws them into turmoil, They find themselves drawn to the same wisdom they once degraded. They try to reach for what you once freely gave, but without you there to guide them, it's like reaching for stars in a darkened sky, just out of reach. Without your steadying influence, they are lost, wandering in circles, realizing too late that you were the compass they refused to follow. Every misguided step they take now serves as a reminder of what they let slip through their fingers. Your impact was profound, and in your absence they're left grappling with the void you left behind, a void that no one else can fill. They are haunted by the knowledge that they let someone irreplaceable, walk out of their life forever. You move forward now, untethered by their regrets, completely detached from the chaos they tried to trap you in. Every step you take radiates with the power of someone who has shed the dead weight of toxic influences. You shine brighter with each passing day, unburdened by their manipulation and small-mindedness. As you ascend, you attract the energy you truly deserve. People who see your value, opportunities that align with your purpose, and a future that outshines everything they ever hoped to dim. Their punishment is the echo of your absence, a silence that reverberates through the hollow lives they now lead. And your growth, your success, it's the sweetest form of retribution, one they will never recover from. The same people who doubted you, who once scoffed at your dreams, now stand on the sidelines, powerless to stop your rise. They watch as you thrive in a world they will never be a part of, surrounded by those who uplift and support you. Each achievement you reach, each milestone you surpass, is a reminder of what they've lost. It gnaws at them, the realization that they are no longer welcome in your life, that their toxic presence has been replaced by something so much better, something they could never offer. They glance at you from a distance, pretending to be indifferent, but their jealousy is a wildfire that consumes them. You are untouchable now, and they know it. What kills them most is not just the success, but the peace that radiates from you, the undeniable truth that you are better without them, that you've built a life they can no longer touch, no longer tarnish. Your rise is unstoppable, and it's that very ascent that crushes them under the weight of their own irrelevance. You've left them behind, and they will never catch up. Hold your head high because you are the one they lost, the irreplaceable gem they can never recover. Every step you take forward is proof of your strength and resilience, and their regret only amplifies the brilliance you've always carried. You've outgrown them, leaving behind those who never had the capacity to truly see you. Now, you step boldly into a future overflowing with abundance, guided by love and opportunities that were always meant for you. You've shattered their illusions, and your absence is their downfall. But for you, this is just the start of something far greater than they ever imagined. You are the chosen one, and the power you hold is undeniable. Share your story, because others need to hear what it's like to rise above, to break free, and to walk into the life that's been waiting for you all along. Let the world know what happens when you reclaim your worth and leave behind what no longer serves you. Keep your head held high because you are the prize, the diamond they underestimated and now can never touch again. They lost something irreplaceable when they lost you, and that's a truth they'll have to live with for the rest of their lives. Your presence was a gift, one they foolishly took for granted, but now it's your absence that speaks the loudest. Every step you take away from their toxicity is a declaration of your worth, a bold statement that says you will no longer tolerate anything less than what you deserve. You were never meant to be confined by their small minds, and now you're proving it with every move you make. As you move forward, you ascend to levels they can only watch from a distance. You're entering spaces filled with love, light, and opportunities designed for someone as extraordinary as you. The people, the energy, and the future that awaits you are aligned with the power you carry, something they never had the vision to see. And while they sit in the wreckage of their own regret, consumed by the void your absence has created, you are thriving, growing, and shining brighter than ever. Their world may be crumbling without you, but yours is only beginning to expand in ways they'll never comprehend. You've shaken them to their core, not because of what you said or did, but because of who you are. And now you've stepped into a new chapter of your life where their presence holds no power over you. Let them deal with their own downfall. You have bigger things to conquer, greater heights to reach, and a future that's unfolding in your favor. Now is the time to share your story. Let others know what it's like to rise from the ashes of others' doubt and walk into the greatness that's been waiting for you all along. Tell the world what happens when a chosen one claims their rightful place, because your victory isn't just personal. It's a message to everyone who's ever doubted your power. Your time is now.